And on the issue of communities taking the matters into their own hands, some in the Northwest have been urged to report crimes to police instead of doing just that. And that's after 3 people accused of burglary and stock theft were killed in mob attacks. Some frustrated residents argue police are not doing enough to protect them from criminals. Newzroom Afrika's Refiloe Seboko is tracking the story now, Refiloe, and it's certainly not a new story, one where the community takes matters into their own hands, not something that is unique to the Northwest. But tell us about this latest case of so-called mob justice.
Indeed, Michelle, the latest one incident that we saw in Seboko village, in just near Maretsani, just where we came for a little bit earlier today, where we spoke to the local councillor when we were engaging with him, indicating that frustration, although community members are continuing to be urged to report incidents of crime to the police, they are frustrated because the police does not seem to be doing anything about it, raising issues of police allegedly also working with the perpetrators. But the question that also arises is to why is it that rather police seems to be responsive when community members take matters into their own hands, investigating and arresting those that are part of such incidents, but they are not responding on time or investigating and even arresting those that are being reported for crime incidents. But let's speak to a security expert. We are here in Mahikeng in the Northwest University. Thank you so much, Thabang, and welcome to Newzroom Afrika. When we're looking at incident of mob justice, why is it that community members would resort to mob justice, when they've got things that they are not happy about, particularly when we're looking at incident of crimes that are happening in their areas?
Thank you so much, and good day to your viewers. You know, as you've already mentioned, that there's a lot of injustices that are happening within the community, and it's the frustrations that also comes with community members to say that perpetrators are always making these crimes or heinous crimes within the community, but when it comes to issues of accountability, there is no form of accountability. In some instances, it is a matter of these perpetrators being apprehended by the police, but they are later released. So the frustration of the citizens as well as community members then lashes out in a form of mob justice. Fortunately or unfortunately, in some instances, certain people tend to be casualties within those instances, but it's mainly driven by the frustrations of community workers.
You were also making mention of also the trust that, or lack of, that is, from community members to the police.
Yes, definitely. Community members tend to think that police work with these perpetrators at the end of the day. This is on the basis that some cases are not being followed upon properly, and some cases are just left unattended. So it then brings out that element to say that why is it that these perpetrators are not taken into justice? So it brings out that element of saying that possibly or probably they are working with the police. So it could mean that the police themselves, they are part and parcel of these injustices that are happening within the society. So the community, it is then left with no choice but to take matters into their own hands.
Would you say enough has been done? Because one of the reasons would be saying that police are not doing enough, but not only that, why does it seem like perpetrators are protected and there seems to be a response when then community members then act into such incidents?
We did not neglect the fact that the Constitution says that everybody has a right to life, whether you are a perpetrator or not, and that must be the fundamental part in which the police is acting upon, and that is something we ought to understand, to say that the police also have a responsibility to protect the lives of these perpetrators themselves. So at the end of the day, whether the question of whether it's been enough is being done or not, it's not really going to be a satisfactory answer depending on how one looks at it, because there's been various legislations that have been put forth, various amendments that have been put forth. But the question is, what is it that can be done at the ground? We need to stop theorizing this and start making impactful decisions or actions. We need to take actions that are going to be visible to the people on the ground, visible to the community members, and be able to say at the end of the day that these are the results and this is the situation that we had combat with, and these are the things that we have actually resulted in. So at the end of the day, we can all go back to say that there enough is not being done on the ground. So we then need those practical measures that are going to be together with the community, together with the police, to say that how can we best work together? If the CPF is not working, what is making the CPF to not work? If Amapanyaza in Gauteng is not working, what is it that we can do to make it a practical matter and not just a theoretical matter?
Thank you so much for your time, Thabang. There, Michelle, what is it that maybe authorities need to go back to the drawing board to solve, or rather to work around what exactly is it that needs to work so that we don't have incident where communities are taking matters into their own hands. But at the core of it is the frustration of the community saying that police are really not doing which they're supposed to be doing, though they continue to be urged to cooperate and work with the police for them to be able to sort out incidents of crime.